So I know they say money can't buy happiness. However, there are 10 things that I wanted to share with you today that make my life as a homeschool mom a little bit easier. Welcome to Born for Homeschool. My name is Rachel Bourne, and my husband and I have 4 kids ranging in ages from 3 to 11, and I'm homeschooling the oldest 3 this year. So today I just wanted to share with you some of my favorite things that we use here in our homeschool, and I narrowed it down to my 10 favorites. And I would love for you to leave a comment below if there is something that you use on a regular basis that you absolutely love and I don't mention it here in my video. I'm always on the lookout for those things that work well for other moms so that I can see if it might work well for me. So the first thing I want to share with you today is my planner. Now, this has morphed and evolved over the last several years, and if you followed here along on my channel, which you are, right? Subscribe to Born for Homeschool, I hope you are. Then you'll know that some years I've done bullet journals, and some years I've done just a planning sheet that I've created. But this year I'm using a homeschool planner. And so that is definitely something that I use every single year. It may be a completely different iteration of it, but that is a favorite here, is my homeschool planner that I use on a daily basis when we homeschool. Another favorite of mine is my pens. So I absolutely love these Pilot G2 pens, and I sometimes get them in the 0.7 width or the 10, but I love the colored pens, and I use them throughout the year in my planner. I use them while I'm checking children's work, and my kids use them when they're doing their planners and filling out their pages for the week. So I really enjoy using these pens, especially all of the different colors that are available. So that is another top favorite here in the Born Homeschool. The next favorite is a special favorite of mine, and I absolutely use these all the time. These are this canister of book darts that I purchased several years ago, and I think that I got 125 of these book darts, and they've lasted me, I think it's been 3 years now. They're just these tiny little, almost like a paper clip sort of thing. You just attach them onto the paper. They feel so fancy, and they don't damage the page. So it's different from a paper clip in that it doesn't wrinkle or bend the pages whenever you put them on. This is a super practical and yet fancy thing that I use every single day. These have been just a special, fun way to mark books that I'm reading, or the curriculum, the places that we've stopped for the day, or different passages that I want my children to be copying or something like that. So this is definitely a special favorite that I found several years ago, and I highly recommend these book darts as a fun and yet very practical thing I use all of the time. So the next few favorites are things that I just use all the time, and sometimes I even forget about the fact that life would be a little bit more inconvenient if I didn't have these, and I love to have handy. One of them is my 3-hole punch that I just dumped 3-hole punches out of. One of those things is my 3-hole punch that I use quite frequently for punching papers to put in notebooks and portfolios for my kids. The next thing I use all of the time is the swing line stapler, and I'll be honest, this harkens back to the days that I was working in a law office, and I had a swing line stapler there, and it lasted years, and I absolutely loved it. And so that's what I decided to purchase whenever I was looking for a stapler for my home. It's a quality piece that will last for years and years. And my next favorite is these scissors, and these are just Westcott titanium scissors. I love having a pair of scissors that are mom scissors. My kids know that these are my scissors for paper, and so they are not to touch them or use them without asking. I have kids' scissors that they're welcome to use anytime they need them, but these are mine, and they stay in my pencil can, and so I know exactly where to find them anytime I need some scissors. And so these are the famous or infamous mom scissors. and they've lasted years. I think I just picked them up at Walmart one time, and they're really well made. So highly recommend. So the next favorite I want to share with you is my Laminator. And this Laminator I'd had on Amazon list. My parents, when I was growing up, my parents had a really nice heavy-duty Laminator, and it worked for years and years. I think my mom still has it, so it's probably something like 20 or 25 years old. I do not know that this laminator will last that long, but I certainly don't know that I need a heavy-duty laminator. This was just an Amazon Basics laminator that I found on Amazon. It was a good price, and it works just fine. So I have used it quite frequently, and most recently I used it to laminate some letters for my youngest son as we look at learning some letter sounds, and it made the project like super easy. It's just so handy to have to laminate anything that I need to have laminated. So it's another favorite. So the next two favorites are kind of combined in that it's my Expo dry erase markers. I love the colors and the choices, and I just got a variety pack a couple of years ago that have lasted all of this time. If you keep the lids on tight, they're supposed to be stored horizontally, and they seem to have no problem lasting. So I highly recommend these Expo dry erase markers, but also my dry erase board. Now, the dry erase board that's hanging in my schoolroom is not magnetic. It is a awesome, ginormous dry erase board that I got for free. A school was replacing their boards several years ago. I saw on Facebook Marketplace that someone said, come and get these dry erase boards for free. They're going in the trash. So I went and picked up this huge dry erase board. I think it was probably 10 or 12 feet long. And my husband has cut it in half, and that is what I've been using for my dry erase board for my homeschool for several years. However, somewhere during that time, I also came across a magnetic dry erase board that is really handy. I love being able to stick magnets and use the dry erase board more like a bulletin board. And so I love having the magnetized dry erase board. So those are my next couple of favorites, are the Expo markers to use on my dry erase boards. And my last favorite that I wanted to share with you is my rolling cart. This is something I use every single day that we homeschool, and it is just so handy being able to wheel it around wherever I need it to be. The capacity, I put all of our tall school books on top, and then I have just everything I need is right there at my fingertips, and it can be moved to wherever I'm moving to, and I absolutely love the fact that it makes things so portable and easy and convenient here in our homeschool. So one thing not on my list is a printer. We have a printer that we've had for many years, probably at least 8. And it works okay. The ink is getting really expensive. So I am curious to know if you have any recommendations for a printer that you use in your homeschool that you would highly recommend, or if you have any reviews for printers that you have used and you either do recommend or don't recommend them. I would love for you to leave me a comment to let me know what you use as a printer, or if you just take it to a print shop. Yeah, let me know what you do, and if you have any suggestions as I look probably in the next year or so at maybe getting a printer for our homeschool that is different from just the home office printer that we've had for the last several years. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this quick peek at some of my favorites as a homeschool mom. I hope you share some of your favorites down below, and I hope you have a wonderful homeschool week. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you again in next week's video.